Keyword. M3. I'll take the M3. Get 8 3. Do you guys have new jobs yet, or anything new happening with you guys?
Still have the same job. Get more money though.
Oh, that's nice. Did you do it over while the pandemic was happening?
We were closed for several months, but but they were still paying. They were still paying the employees for basically average what we would normally work that month.
I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Frickin' pillars. Why is there water in the ground? Ooh, is this that guy? I'm gonna go into this city. Oh no, there's artillery. Can you see my stream? Is it working?
I see it just fine.
Noise. I'm a little baby Stuart. Look at me. I'm Chinese. This wall. I'm just booking it. Hoping no one sees me. Don't look at me. I'm naked. Whoa! I almost had a T-bone there. I'm going to get shot. I can feel it. I can feel it, Mr. Krabs. Okay, let's not take this corner at Mach 5.
Speaking of SpongeBob, apparently part of a Paramount Plus commercial that aired during the Super Bowl, they played Sweet Victory.
Good touch, good touch. Is no one taking the point? What's happening? I'm gonna go on this little. I'm gonna go a little swim. Look at me, I'm a little duck. Just touch the point. You don't have to. No homo. I hope I don't get shot from the cliff. There's apparently a guy right here. Do you see him? Oh, there's a guy right there. Oh, I shot. That was stupid.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Hey, killed him. Freaking airplane. Go away. Go away, go away. Come again another day. Let's not linger here. This is a bad place. It's a rough neighborhood. Oh, somebody, the Panther of the Lake, there. What is happening? Are you gonna get him? He's just looking down a road. I really like this Stuart. It's a good tank. He's still zippy. Look at him go. Oop. Hopefully you didn't need that well. for this wall. Out of my way. Oh my gosh. I don't think there's a bad guy here. Oh, well, there was a bad guy there. Jeez, they're being aggressive. Oh! Oh no, that's bad. Okay. There's an M3? Who let an M3 in here? I'm like a little baby Stewart. Killed everyone inside. Cool. You know what? I'm gonna shoot you with an airplane. Chinese airplane. I don't have any bombs. This is a bomber, but no ammunition except for looks like 450s. Okay, I'll take that. Look at that roll rate. Awful. This thing is a slug. Slug of the sky. This does not look good. Who's this guy? Look at him go! He's a rocket ship! Holy smokes! Freaking... He went from like 5,000 to 6,000 feet in seconds. Uh-oh. My ping sucks. Maybe that's why. Maybe he wasn't actually flying. He was just glitching out a little bit. Because he's in the stratosphere now. I don't know how I did that. Okay. You see any guys? I'm not seeing any. I think we're just gonna have to do some good old-fashioned shooting the tops of people. Giving people haircuts. There's a guy going to the point, but I don't think he's anything we can do anything about. Oh, somebody's on us. Hold up. That's a big hole in my tail. I need that. What is he? Look at him! Look at him! What the frick? How is he doing that? He's in space! How would he do that? This guy's made out of
top secret technology.
top secret. That's a Sherman. I can't do anything about that. Is he on my... Oh my gosh. What was that? Honestly, like, what happened? I think that guy was actually hacking. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Fire off. That's nice. Nice to them. This guy right here. This guy right here. Look at him. Look at him go. That is impossible. I'm gonna hit this windmill. Okay. So we're not doing stellar. And this guy is just... Okay, no, that's a different guy. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, there's another one. No, please. No! Okay, that was a glitch. That was... It's so laggy, I just plowed him. Okay, he crashed too. We're good. Or maybe that was a friendly. Never mind. That was not good. We're all good, Fred. Right? No, he's dead. Yeah, he dead. Some tank shooting at me. Oh, it's yeah. That's a much higher tiered vehicle than me. Totally fair. Fair and balanced. I got really up tiered. Look at these guys.
Aha.
Yeah. This guy's like a panther, and I'm in like a landing craft.
They added a bit more texture to the quote-unquote winter wrap-up outfits.
Since I'm not gonna live, watch this, guys. Hang on. Watch this. 1 second. This is pretty sick. Boat time.
And if you're on
I'm a boat. Boat tank. I'm not gonna live very long. Write my will. I'm gonna... Vote time. Whoa. What was that? Yeah! This guy's following me. Yes. He's shooting over me right now, I think. Oh! Well, that was fun while it lasted. I'm still floating. He's using gas tanks as armor. That's unadvisable, I would say.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Screw friends, screw fans, this is Hugging We've the old recent, and guess who's back?
Lucky? Terrible joke, sorry. Not even really a joke. But yes, might as well. I'm down here. I'm tired. I'm not used to staying up. I am actually used to staying up, but I have a night shift now, so I usually go to bed right about now. Actually, much earlier than now. About 5 hours earlier now, and then I'm usually waking up to go to work in another 2 hours.
Ah.
Kinda crazy. But you gotta do what you gotta do to make the monies.
Yeah.
That's not good. I don't like that. You can go away. Oh! I deleted him. Okay. I always like deleting people. Oh, and SU. I don't know what I can do about that. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. Yeah, I'm just denting him at the moment.
So,
No,
aside
please.
from mind games that my brain was playing with itself throughout the week, which sort of ended up with a miscalculation of the calendar for the coming month, as well as how this weekend was supposed to go.
It happens.
Oh well. Attack the B point! Yeah, I'm doing it. Okay.
Barely anything much of note except for
My gosh, it's laggy.
Working
I don't
with-
know why it's stuttering.
working with my dad on his personal YouTube channel, in which he posts a short clips, sometimes compilations of trips.
That's cool.
At the moment,
Yeah.
At the moment, I think he's on another one of his
Oh.
boating excursions.
Hmm.
Then today, I finally rented out the
Um.
rented out a series of races at a single location. I meant to report on earlier, but let's just say sources didn't exactly work out, and some events were longer than others and had to be spread across a number of days. But finally managed to wrap that up.
Uh, yeah, so I went on a bit of an adventure on Sunday. Well, something was interesting. We actually finally got some AC in the apartment. Went to Costco to pick that up, and we decided that I think they wanted to show me the place they went to, so we drove all the way up to Yakima to Miners Drive-In. It's like this. Well, we ate inside, but yeah, it's this food place, and the serving sizes are huge. Uh, what should I compare it to? Um, you know those like 42-ounce bottles of water you get? The hot dogs are like that long.
Oh my.
And I had the chili cheese dog. It was buried under a sea of cheese, meat, and beans.
Oh my.
I was barely able to finish it. They also have a really good banana cream pie shake. And the burgers, that's a good. I'm trying to think of like something to describe how wide they are, but think like double the width of a normal burger.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's definitely a place that you get your money's worth. It's like the food is really good. I'm not sure I would say it's about 4.5, 5 hour drive both ways. Oh, I mean total worth it. But if it was like an hour away, maybe.
Quite the ordeal.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we left Vancouver at around 7, didn't get back till like 2:30.
Oh my gosh.
Then work. Work was relatively normal, if not hot. Unfortunately, we've been undergoing a bit of a slightly resumed, but not as bad heat wave.
Yeah. Kind of come back.
Yeah,
Like I said before we got started, not quite as torturous.
yeah.
Yeah, it was overcast today here.
Yeah, so oh, and next week there's two things going on. Shouldn't interfere with the schedule or anything, but yeah, the yearly dinner dance at work. That's like a big thing at work. So that might be a while. Also, probably we're having like a family get together on Sunday on my grandma's side of the family.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, that'll be interesting. I'll try to make sure I do a stream not on Saturday.
Of course. Oh, I think they updated the textures here too.
But yeah, other than that, uh, not much going on really. Like, I mean, besides AC is great. Although occasionally we have to, sometimes we have to drain like the plant box because we currently have it drain. We currently have the AC draining into like this little plastic plant box thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like doesn't fill up too quickly, but still something to have to keep an eye on. So I've been enjoying some Final Fantasy V randomizers.
Okay. Okay.
I also found out that there's a a mod for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance that essentially turns it into Pokemon. So like I'm gonna have to check that out at some point because that seems fun. But yeah, that's basically it for my week.
Let's see those burgers you mentioned. I'm getting something that I saw in a vlog once. It's like they serve donuts larger than average.
Yeah.
I believe it was at Universal.
Hmm.
That's the best
Okay.
comparison I can make.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually playing through a Final Fantasy V randomizer right now. Like, just something about grinding for the different abilities that are randomized between jobs. It's just something that appeals to me. You know?
Get you, I get you. I've been doing a bit of I bought app actually. I bought Bloons Tower Defense 6 for your phone.
Hmm.
So I played, I used to play like the Flash game, like the original one on the
Yeah.
Wii. So I had good memories of it, and then I got it on my like iPod Touch that I still have here on my desk actually. And then
Nice.
didn't touch it for a long time, and now I have some money in my Google account from all the little rewards stuff they do, and I'm like, I guess I could buy an app, and I bought Balloon Tower Defense because it looked, I played the other ones. It's pretty addicting, actually. It's pretty good. It's like $3 or something like that, $5 or
Cool.
something, and you get the whole game. Obviously, you still have to get all unlock everything, which is kind of fun in a way, in that it's not like heavily uber grindy, but you do definitely have to play the game a decent amount to get everything unlocked. Which is I think it's right at the good amount, right, of grind for fun. And you can get some pretty. It's kind of fun to be strategic. You can be really strategic on different maps, and there's a bunch of maps, like literally like 30 maps, and a bunch of monkeys, and all monkeys have different variants as you upgrade them. So like there's the boomerang monkey, and he has 3 tiers or 3 tech trees basically that you can upgrade through, but you can only upgrade through one of the trees fully and partially through the other tech tree. So you kind of have to manage upgrades, and it's kind of cool. You have to. There's placement management. There's um, all these different managements, lots of tech tree management, and you have to defend against different types of balloons. So there's like camouflage balloons that only certain monkeys can see, and you need to have a couple of them to see those. And there's like ceramic balloons, and lead balloons that can only be popped by explosives or magic. So there's just a bunch of stuff. It's fun. It's crazy. It's all nuts, but it's a fun game. I totally suggest, if you want an app, to just kill some time, and you can. It's done in tiers, so like or waves. So like a wave of balloons come by, and then after the wave you collect yourself, and then fight the next wave, and it's fun. Uh, totally worth a play.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, that's kind of the only game I've been playing. I've been quite busy with a bunch of other things. And if there's lots of action, lots of here. go by pretty fast because I work from about 2 to 3 a.m. to about 9 to 8:30 a.m. So it's about a 5.5 to 6.5 hour shift, but it's an intense one. It's like part-time, but it's not easy part-time.
Yeah.
So there's that to consider. But I don't know. It's a fun time. Um, you are looking for a hard, hard job, but it's, you want a bit of a challenge, and the pay is pretty decent, and it's also a union, so that's a plus.
Oh.
So yeah, it's pretty nuts. That had to train all that, and it's all going fast. It's more intense than FedEx, at least the job I'm doing right now. But I'd like to try to get into driving eventually and delivering stuff actually.
Eh,
But yeah.
thanks.
Shoot. Can you see my screen right now? I'm testing stuff.
I see it.
Is it like running? Like, is it looking for a game right now?
No, it's like Age of the Republic, Age of Rebellion, Age of Resistance.
Okay, you can see that. Okay, cool. I just clicked on stream screen and I didn't know if it could see the game. Sometimes that's kind of weird where they can only see the back layer. I don't know. Maybe they've kind of fixed that. But yeah, I've been packing up my room, which is kind of nuts. I put away all my posters and everything. Crazy stuff there. I got a bunch of crap. I should probably sell some of it. Maybe you guys could see what I got.
Yeah, it's like I've been working on cutting down on how much I eat and like switching things around. Like today for breakfast and lunch, I had 2 pieces of toast, a banana, and a thing of yogurt.
Good. Other than the banana part, I'd die, actually, because I'm allergic to bananas. Bananas. Kind of weird allergy, I know, but the truth. I'm also allergic to kiwis, which is also kind of weird.
Yeah. So far, I haven't actually found anything I'm actually allergic to.
Lucky you.
Well, I mean, like major allergies. I of course have like the normal seasonal stuff and dust and certain kinds of grass, but it's like the more irritating rather than debilitating allergies.
Okay, that makes sense. Bananas aren't deadly to me. They're just like not. They just kind of make my throat hurt. They kind of make them seize up. Kind of, my throat gets clogged up.
Yeah.
So it's just not a fun time.
Yeah.
Nothing to. Ooh, I have not played this game in a long time. Don't remember the hotkeys, so that's cool. Oh, I need to learn how to roll. Ooh, how do I roll? How do I roll? Which was it? Was it C?
Probably for the best, considering what the company reputation.
That's. Yeah. Let's see. So those are all that. Okay. Crouching. It's Alt. I remember that. Okay. That's kind of hard to do. I don't really want this. Switch right there. Oh, that's not good. Oh, NVIDIA, you killed me! blame NVIDIA. It wasn't me. What's my
I-
first point?
I also think they don't have kind of stuff that gets occasionally have it. It's a peanut butter, chocolates.
Oh, jeez. I haven't done a shooter in a long time. Wow, I'm it's fun. I haven't had a free weekend in a long time either. I'm usually doing something.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like if I had a blender, I might something I would probably make for myself is like a pineapple and banana smoothie.
Okay, okay.
Because I actually have frozen pineapple tidbits that I've been tossing into my rice, but I could easily see myself, just tossing it into the blender.
Pineapple sauce on rice. That sounds interesting.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh my gosh, dang nabbit on the other way. I haven't been, well, I do usually breakfast nowadays, which I'm not used to because breakfasts are usually busy. But I've been doing breakfast because I get home at breakfast, which is kind of weird after like 6 hour shift. So I want to eat something usually. And I usually only bring like cereal in the morning to work. Oh shoot! Okay, I did not want to see that when I walked. It's like a walker or something. No good without a walker. We are losing heavily. Yikes.
Anyways, we continue our exploration of the Northwest, as it were.
Yep, Gravity Falls Season 2, Episode 4, Sock Opera.
Good name, good name.
So, Seuss has managed to fix up that laptop they found last time. So, like, okay, time to turn it on and find out who wrote the journals. Unfortunately, it's password protected. Curses.
Feet.
And no, the password isn't password. But did they try username?
Devious.
Yeah, it's like need to figure out the password. And I guess they're at the library while they're doing this. But yeah, so Mabel gets distracted by this guy doing a puppet show for children. The guy's name is Gabe. He's cool. He really likes puppets. He
Wrong with that.
really likes puppets.
Okay, something's probably wrong with that.
But yeah, Mabel's just like, I have found my love. But yeah, I guess she finally got a Romando. He gets brought. He gets mentioned. But yeah, and so Mabel wants to impress Gabe, and it's like, hey, you're into puppets. I'm into puppets. Puppets are cool.
Oh no. Oh no. I died.
It's, and
Dead.
but yeah, she really wants to impress him, and yeah, apparently she's like, oh yeah, I totally working on a puppet play, and now she just has like a few days to put a play together. It's like, hey, yeah, I know I said I would help with the whole password thing, but can you help me out? It's for love. And Dipper's like, fine.
Maybe
He,
just puts up with it nowadays.
he does get a nice quip on the whole crush of the week type thing.
Well, so yeah, Mabel's getting her sock puppets all together with the help of her friends and Wendy and Cease and Dipper. Meanwhile, Dipper is spending like the entire night. It's just trying to work out the password. And Stan passes by, sees them doing all the puppet stuff, and it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to know. It's like Stan is done with this. Like he no.
At
So
some,
yeah,
at some point, I could almost sense a reaction similar to "It's Pinkie Pie, don't question it."
fair. So yeah, it's like the night before the performance, and Dipper still like need the password. He just can't get to sleep, so it's like he's on the trying to work out the password. It's like, if only you had some sort of hint. Also, I believe before we saw this shadow of a triangle following Dipper for a bit. That's not ominous at all. See, as you can imagine, Bill's back.
And not just episode ominous, but season foreshadowing.
Yep. So yeah, Bill offers Dipper a deal. You do a thing for me. I'll help you out with the password. Dipper's like, yeah, no. I beat you last time. Yeah, sure you did. It's like, oh yeah, I have things planned for this town. And, like, yeah, if you change your mind, I'm always here. Bye. So yeah, Dipper got like no sleep last night, and he was just like completely out of it. And he does tell Mabel that like, oh yeah, I had a dream with Bill in it. He made me an offer, I refused. Like it's everything's fine.
Oh.
So yeah, Mabel's friends come by and like they're helping. They're part of the stage crew. And like, okay, need to get all the stuff together to send it over to the place where we're having the play. I'm sure everything will go just fine. Note, everything is not going fine. Things are not going good. And Dipper's getting kind of annoyed because like Mabel did say she was going to help him with the password, but she's been so obsessed with this whole puppet thing and Gabe that's like, yeah, she's been obsessed. To be fair, she does point out that Dipper has also been obsessed with the whole password thing. But like,
That makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah, he's had enough. He storms off like, whatever. I'll do this by myself. So Dipper goes back to the shack, and it's working through the password, and like, oh no, you've exceeded the number of login attempts. You have one try left. Also, everything will be erased in 5 minutes. Oh no! And I noticed something in the window. The window has the shape of a triangle with an eye in it.
Yeah, sucks.
Like, very subtle. No, wait, no, what's the opposite of subtle? But yeah, Bill's back, and like, hey, yeah, seems like you've run into a time limit. How about you say we make a deal? All I want is one of the puppets. At first, it was like, I don't know, maybe worked really hard on these puppets. But Bill's like, yeah, but what's she ever done for you? You like, yeah. So yeah, the timer's counting down. So Dipper's like, fine, it's a deal. Now, which puppet did you want? Oh, the puppet I want is you. And yeah,
Gosh.
he pulls an ancient one and bops Dipper out of his body. Little Doctor Strange reference for you there. But yeah, Bill is in Dipper's body now, and he's gonna find the diary and find the journal and destroy it. And unfortunately, there isn't much Dipper can do because yeah, without a phone, he can't communicate with others.
I can't help but question why Peter didn't do that, didn't end up as this instead of, well, erasing his marriage.
Uh,
The things you get into when you make deals with demonics.
yeah. But yeah. Also, Bill is kind of fascinated by this whole human body thing. Like, he finds it quite interesting. So yeah, so everyone and Bill and Ghost Dipper travels to the theater where the play is taking place. The play, of course, being Glove Story, a sock opera. So yeah, um, so the show starts and there's a whole musical number and the audience seems to love it. Meanwhile, Bill in Dipper's body is like, okay, so where's the journal? And yeah, apparently it's in the wedding cake but that doesn't get in. Nothing to nah, that doesn't get used till Act 3. Meanwhile, Dipper's still trying to communicate with people, but like realizes like, oh right, I need a form, or like I need something to communicate. So, I, so it's intermission time. Mabel's in her room and well like stage room, and yeah, the Dipper puppet's like, okay, hey Mabel, we need to talk. It's like I need a bit of help. It was like Mabel finds this very amusing, and I was reminded of an episode of Angel, like a season 5 episode where Angel gets put, like Angel and Spike get placed in puppet bodies, or was it just it was just Angel? But yeah, it's like I was kind of reminded of that. But basically, it's like, okay, yeah, Bill's possessed my body. He's trying to get the journal. We need to stop him. But he was like, but the play's getting so good. I need to nail this ending to impress Gabe. But it's like, oh, come on, it's like, and Mabel realizes like, okay, yeah, this is kind of a serious deal. We should probably deal with this. But she needs Dipper to do something for her. So Dipper's possessing the Dipper's puppeting the puppet. It's well, Mabel goes up on top of the what's the section over top the stage called? I know there's a term for it.
Scaffolding.
The scaffolding area. I was like, okay, need to get the journal before or Bill gets to it. Unfortunately, Bill's up there as well and threatens to drop the cake with Mabel in it unless she hands him the journal. And like she almost does it, but like, yeah, Dipper wouldn't do this. Basically, screw you. I'm not giving you the journal. And she yanks him into the wooden cake prop, causing it to fall down onto the stage. And Mabel and Bill get into a fight, but it's not going to Bill's favor because one, Mabel knows Dipper's weakness, tickling. Two, Dipper's body hasn't slept in over 24 hours.
Plot point.
Yes. So yeah, Dipper's body collapses, Bill flying out of it, and Dipper manages to get back in his own body with Bill possessing the Dipper puppet. And it's about time for the finale because Mabel sets off the pyrotechnics, destroying pretty much all the puppets. And this is part, and of course Mabel's like, and this is the part where the audience thinks that this is part of the play and applauds. Unfortunately, this whole thing went over about as well as Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. That's the reference I was waiting to make. And everyone storms out, and Gabe is like, he is just like, you have offended me and the profession, and then makes out with his puppets. Like I said, he really likes his puppets, which makes Mabel realize that, yeah, maybe she dodged a bullet there. But yeah, other than that, Dipper has his body back. Mabel had fun. Dipper, he's had better days and he's hurting all over. Yeah, it's like, yeah, long day. Let's go home. And as the credits roll, we see the Mabel and Dipper puppets looking a lot more realistic now. Doing jokes with McGucket and Stan in the basically they're doing a whole Muppet Show thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mabel wakes up, and it's like and on her bedpost she has the Mabel puppet. She just like turns it so it's not facing her. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a bit yeah. Then goes back to bed. And yeah, that was Sock Opera. Quite an interesting story. Like, we get some more subtle seasonal plot progression with hints towards future events. And like I said, we get something that I can make a reference to Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark with. Like, yeah, that was a whole disaster. And yeah, it was quite good.
Totally need you there. Also, a big character moment between the twins.
Yeah.
Considering all the times there was a bit of a split.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I missed a point. When Bill possessed Dipper's body, he destroyed the laptop. Or at least he smashed it. it's completely possible that the hard drive is still intact. I don't know if they'll go that route, but like I said, this is my first time viewing the series. So, other than a few bits for like regarding the finale, I don't know what happens in each episode.
Good call.
Like they could go that route, or it could just be like, he destroyed the laptop. We'll have to find other clues as to who wrote the journal. We'll see. Yeah, I liked it. Like I said, like Gravity Falls is a very solid show. I have like I have there hasn't been any episode that's like that no that are like bad or anything. Like I barely think I can think of any like I don't think I can think of any mediocre episodes. Like they've generally all been at the very least decent, if not good.
I generally like how the show tends to, even with a filler episode kind of like this, it will tend to lead. It will sprinkle in main storyline events that keep you interested in the full, storyline. So
Yeah,
Dipper could be doing anything in this episode, right?
yeah,
Maybe he's playing a game or something that he really likes, and Mabel keeps interrupting him, and he's trying to, finish the game or something before the event ends or something, right? But they chose to have him trying to get into the laptop to learn more about Gravity Falls, and it's from the mystery. He thinks it's from the mystery um, person who wrote the book. So it's kind of it's a side quest, it's a side thing that is leading to the main storyline. So it keeps you invested. Um, this filler episode doesn't feel like filler episodes, so that's really nice, and that makes all of the episodes feel special, and it makes you want to watch all of them.
yeah,
And even though this is kind of technically a filler episode, it doesn't feel like it, and it's a good, fun episode. A bit heavy on the Dipper bashing again. That's kind of classic throughout the series, where Mabel seems to be kind of getting her way no matter what, and Dipper is just getting the short end. So that's
yeah,
kind of a theme that a lot of people have noticed. So it's not really a topic that's uncovered. It's pretty obvious. So if you're not into those types of episodes, this is kind of one of them. It's another Mabel kind of messes up stuff episode. So, which aren't terrible, but I know some people, they really didn't like them. But I didn't mind it, so it was okay.
yeah.
Um,
It's like every episode so far is like even outside like the season premiere has like managed to do something important. Like episode two dealt with the whole working out the relationship between in Wendy and Dipper. Last week's episode developed Pacifica's character, and this one had Bill in it.
that's another big deal. Like, main character like that, or main antagonist, I guess, comes
Yeah.
in and is kind of the driving force in the end of the episode, which is kind of cool, or mid to end, which is interesting. Usually in an episode like this, you get the problem right at the start, and then you're kind of learning how to fix it all the way through the whole episode, right? This one has actually stages of the episode, again, making it more fun to watch, where you start out with them trying to get into the laptop, and then they can't, there's a password, and then Mabel goes off and tries to woo a guy, and then that's happening for a bit, and then we realize, and then Bill comes in and is a new force in the episode, and is now a kind of ever-present character, and you're thinking about what he's going to do, and then it becomes serious because the laptop's going to wipe its memory, and then Bill comes back, and then kind of gets into the third act where he takes over Dipper's body. So it's a fun episode in that, and they're smart writers in that they keep you engaged all the way through, and have big plot points all the way through. It's not kind of like filler. It's not kind of like token problem at the start, and then we're learning to figure out the token problem by, uh, quest completion all the way through. You're actually having other issues come up that are central to the plot. You're thinking about, what is Bill trying to do? Why does he need a body, right? Um, all these bigger overarching story plots come up with Bill being in there and help you try to form a conclusion about what's going to happen. But also, he is a driving force and also just a bad guy in this episode. So they kind of have a double use for Bill in this episode, which is cool as well.
Yeah.
There's not really, unlike Milo Pony or something, where there's not really a lesson to learn or something from it. Obviously, it's kind of the same one where you just need to, it's the classic. Try to choose your goals better, and don't run off and do meaningless stuff while you can help with a more important topic at hand, right? And frivolous stuff like that is fleeting, whereas friendship with family is more important. So that type of lesson is very common and central to Gravity Falls, and I do like how they come back to that a lot of times, and they kind of, it's different from Milo Pony. Milo Pony is so long that they had to do a bunch of different lessons, whereas lots of times Gravity Falls does have lessons. I'm not going to deny it doesn't, but they kind of just have a central kind of family, overarching story, basically, and sticking together with your brother and sister, which is a uncommon pairing. And actually, I do like, another thing about Gravity Falls is the duo between Dipper and Mabel is interesting. There's not usually a brother-sister pair, twin pair in shows, so that's kind of fun to see. Usually it's a brother and sister that are different ages.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to get a twin pair because they both kind of they're the same age, so they both kind of are in the same state of development, and they kind of work off each other that way. It's fun. They chose to mix it up in that Dipper's taking a less, there are Dipper love episodes, but it's usually he has less control over them, which is kind of interesting. Usually it's the guy going after the girl. So interesting. Instead of the girl is now going after the guy. Another different break in norms, and also kind of making it more interesting. Overall, good episode. Fun side character. He will be coming back, but I mean, nothing serious. But even I do like how they bring in side characters. You can see them in the background. The background characters in this show are fun to watch because people have pointed out, and I like this point of, the background characters have enough detail that they could be main characters a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like looking at the crowds, and a lot of times the crowds have so much personality that you're like, I could see any of the background characters having their own show. So it's a cool touch, and they spend a bunch of time on backgrounds and background characters. We get to see a lot of locations in this episode. We get like the library, we get a couple other, we get like the attic and the roof and a bunch of different places around Gravity Falls. So it's a fun traveling episode. Something I do like about Gravity Falls, again, is it's got a central, shack that they hang out around, but usually each episode has a destination that they go to, so that's fun, and there's something to look at each episode that's new. That's sometimes a problem that you can get with like long-running shows like Family Guy and things where they're like in the same house every episode, and it gets boring. It gets visually boring, right?
Yeah.
That is a deal. That is a more important thing, I think, than a lot of people believe. I don't really like the whole classic. I mean, it can be done right, and there's shows like The Office and Friends that do it right, but I do like some visual change, and it is fun to visually visit different places, and it makes your world feel bigger. You're not like in a room. So,
Yeah, sometimes I wonder what it would be like if like Pony had like I don't know half the episodes per season, but like the consistent quality that Gravity Falls has.
yes, yeah. Well, if you look at behind the scenes stuff for Gravity Falls, apparently each episode in development time took about a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so and the seasons were spaced apart. I believe it was like 2 years between each season. Well, there's only two, obviously. So they basically, it wasn't a year straight, but like they planned out the episode, and then they would be working on, six other episodes at the same time. But they'd plan it out and then storyboard it, and then that would be a month, and then they'd send out for the art and frames, and they would take they do the voice acting and everything, and it would take a solid half year to a year for each episode, and I think you can see that in the quality. um, so I personally do like, and I do like your point that you made earlier, where there hasn't really been a episode where you're like, well, that was a waste of time, right? They have all been good, right? Not amazing, some of them. Some were amazing, and some were really great. But they've all been, yeah, that was a good watch, right? At least,
Yeah.
which is kind of hard to do with a show. So that's another thing that a lot of people point out. It's like it's a great show to just watch, and maybe you don't go back and watch certain episodes, but none of them you really regret watching. There were definitely some funny episodes where you're like, I probably won't really watch that again. It's
Of course.
amazing. Yeah. And SpongeBob, same thing. And there's a bunch of shows where you're just like, yeah, I don't need to see that one again. The voice acting is on point. The sound cues are good, and the songs weren't really serious songs, but they were kind of comical. Dipper and um, Bill interactions are always fun. Bill is obviously amazing. All the way through. Him commenting on the two eyes. Wow, this body's deluxe. Like that. Pain is funny, It rolls down the stairs and everything. Visual gags galore.
Yeah.
Visual gags are kind of a lost art, so I'm glad. Uh, Gravity Falls does physical humor quite well. It's harder humor than a lot of people think to do, where you use, where he's like, he just flatly falls down the stairs, and then he, rams his hand in the drawer and comes up with forks sticking out of his arm. Just visual things like that they don't comment on, which are good. Take time to add, and the animator has to think of them and probably go beyond what the storyboard has. So really cool.
There's also a lot of cases where they, especially here, where they make fun of certain tropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still manage to fit in references and tropes and things like that to other series and later on in the season and all that stuff too. it's fun to go back and watch some of these episodes and see what they were alluding to. And maybe you look back on earlier episodes and be like, oh, okay, that's kind of what that was for. I do like series that do that because it rewards the viewer for watching stuff.
Yeah.
It's always good to have that because it makes your viewers very dedicated because you're like, oh, I want to watch and see what happens next. And maybe what it references about the last episodes. And you makes them rewatch your episodes if you have that. It's hard to include, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Get back to a comment you made earlier, Nate. Have you
What?
have you spared some time to watch Pony Life?
No, I haven't been watching much. I have been watching Bad Batch, which has been pretty good. I watched
Okay.
Loki, which was okay, pretty decent. Watched Black Widow, all right. Not much else. There hasn't been much, to be honest. So just been catching up on old movies and things like that. 'Cause the new Grand Tours were really good. Basically top tier if you haven't watched them. A couple other. I've been doing much series. What have I been watching? Let me see. I have HBO. I mean, I went through all of the Studio Ghibli movies, which were all amazing. Better than others. I really like the really like the one about the Zeros development of the Japanese fighters. Wind Rises, what it's called. Very good.
Yeah, that was one of the more recent ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely worth a watch. Very sad.
We can safely say that not a harmful watch, but at the same time, not superior.
What Wind Rises?
Pony Life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pony Life is definitely different.
I think I saw some of the first episode or something. I'm like, I don't really know if I have time for this. You know what I mean? I'll probably watch some other stuff first and just wait for the next series. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Which we are getting a lot of news about, it seems. So, that's interesting. I've been doing a lot of audiobooks, actually. Quite a lot of audiobooks, which at work and things, because they want you to listen to music and stuff at work, which is pretty cool. I went through Skyward on Audible. Pretty decent series. There's only two books right now, 15 hours about each. Pretty good. Redid The Hobbit. Hobbit's always good. Classical writing. Did a bunch of the Terry Pratchett's that I missed.
Nice.
Sister's gonna love you for that.
The what?
My sister's gonna love you for that.
She reads Terry Pratchett.
And she just wanted a reference to it.
It is so good. Terry Pratchett is one of my favorite writers. Done a couple Jules Verne. Around the World in 80 Days is, it's one of those classics that you never read, actually. Definitely should read it. It's a very good book. It's still quite modern, actually. I'm very surprised by that. So, totally read it. Not hard to understand or anything. Yeah. Been doing other book series. I'm gonna start a new one that my friend suggested to me. Like a medieval medieval one. I do like sci-fi books if I can find them, but I don't like dreary sci-fi. There's a lot of sci-fi that's like dystopian, and I don't really like that. I don't really need that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of
You don't want depressing sci-fi.
yeah. There's quite a lot of that. Good. That's a good way of putting it. There's a lot of depressing sci-fi, and it's all about AI is taking over and the world ending, and there's not many humans left, and they're just okay, come on. I like Star Wars because it's a quite upbeat series. Kind of classical heroes and villains and stuff like that. It's fun. I like that type of stuff. I kind of like the medieval tropes of heroes and villains with sci-fi setting, basically, like ship fights and dog fights and fleet battles and stuff like that.
Arguably,
But
arguably, Star Trek and Doctor Who are kind of the same thing.
yeah, I haven't watched Doctor Who. It's a bit more kind of. I know it's kind of a bit more point to point. I kind of like overarching big stories, and you know, same with kind of Star Trek. You're kind of it's like the problem of the week type deal. I know a lot of the time, and those are fine. But I do like an epic scale and something to keep up with. That's kind of why I liked Gravity Falls. There was kind of an overarching story, and I know Star Trek and stuff has those, but you really have to watch a lot of stuff from what it looks like to get the whole story, and it's like I don't really know if I want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, you got to watch this whole season of like 30 episodes to get the entire, and there's a little bit of tidbit of story development in each episode. Like, okay, that can get tiring, and I just lose interest in the main series, and what big thing they're trying to achieve or something. It's like I don't really care. It takes so long to get to it. Gravity Falls is actually a very nice. I don't like that it's short because I love the characters and everything, but it's a good balance. You know what I mean? It's long enough that you get a lot of things fleshed out that need to be fleshed out, but it's not too long that it meanders and you feel what you get bored of it. So
Yeah.
it's a very he was right in cutting it off. Um, he knew when to cut it off and say okay, the story is over now, which is sad and it really kicked me in the gut when it was over, but it ended well. So I'm not going to go into that obviously, but and I hope for another series one day, maybe in different characters. I'm glad. I'm sad, but I'm also glad that Pony is going to do that next, and that they're just stepping away from these main characters we followed for a while and choosing to do another group, which I hope for the best in there. I don't know if I'll have time to watch much of it again, but we'll see. If it's not, if there's not too many of them and they're not super long, I can probably do them. And it depends on what people think of it.
Yeah. Like, I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yeah, I'll probably watch a couple of the first episodes, and if it's not worth my time, then I'll just not watch it. They seem like they were going for older audiences, but not by much. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I heard the new He-Man sucked. Kind of. I might have watched that, but it didn't seem like worth your time. Been a lot of series that have been like that recently. There's not been much that has piqued my interest. There's been a lot of like, well, this isn't really worth your time. This isn't really worth your time. And I don't need more time wasters. I spend enough of that on YouTube. I waste a lot of time on YouTube watching videos. There's probably so many random videos I've watched that I probably could have been doing something else with. So that's fun.
Speaking of which, of course, I've been linking several Pony Gravity Falls combos and also recently some Pony Top Gear combos.
This is interesting. recent episode of Top Gear was I mean of Grand Tour was pretty good. It's called Lockdown. Kind of a not so much of a coherent story, I guess, as some of the other episodes, but I'm guessing that's a bit because they were messed up by the virus and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it kind of jumps around a little bit, and I'm guessing that's why. So they said we're gonna have more episodes, and it's gonna keep coming out. So we'll just hope for a little better next time. But it's a good watch. It's only like an hour and a half. So if you're into Top Gear, check it out. It's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, then you have Amazon. You have the free videos. So. I don't think you can get an account of Amazon Prime without having Amazon Video. So that jazz.
So, interesting episode notes. Matt Chapman of Homestar Runner fame is credited as one of the puppeteers.
Hmm.
Our decodes include pure energy, not skin and bone, rising like the shepherd tone. Whittle, shifter, whatevs. Barrow. We've all had some fun tonight, but let's not forget who the real puppet masters are. Reptoids, who have infiltrated the government.
They're drones. I knew it.
No puppet strings can hold me down, so patiently I watch this town. Admirable soon will be the norm. Enjoy the calm before the storm.
Have you been keeping up with space developments? Or are you into space kind of?
Yeah.
It's been interesting. If you are interested in space, there's kind of like a new space race happening right now, and it's kind of cool. SpaceX, Blue Origin are competing. There's also Virgin Galactic that are all competing to get stuff into space fast for cheap. SpaceX is definitely the most public about what they're doing, and definitely probably one of the faster growing. The Starship, which is a massive rocket that they're developing, will be they're wanting to carry like roughly upwards of 100 people to the moon at a time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And they want to do a moon landing with the Starship, which is bigger than the Saturn V, which is the biggest rocket so far we've built. It's much wider as well. They want to land it on the moon in 2 years, which is a nuts schedule. Meaning, like, they want to build them, test launch them, launch them with people, and then get it to the moon in 2 years. And currently, they're on track to. They've built like 3 test full-scale replicas, like with everything, working replicas. Already tested several of their engines. The engines, they have already made 100 of them.
Wow.
He wants to make a fleet of starships, they're called. He wants to make hundreds of starships, and he's on track to making them. He has like a launch site that they're building. They literally built a whole tower, which is like 50 stories tall, in like a month, which is nuts. Literally working round the clock, night, day, all day, for all week, all month, basically. Uh, Lifting these huge pieces of metal that will hold up the rocket. The rocket goes up, like the ones you've seen online where it goes up, comes back, and lands. It's that, but 30 times bigger. And instead of landing on the ground, it will be caught by a tower. So it'll come down, and then arms will extend and grab the rocket mid-flight instead of it landing on the ground. So that'll be nuts to see. A rocket that gets caught by a giant tower. And they already have built the tower. And then they are building the rocket as we speak and test firing it already. They had a test fire like 2 days ago. And it didn't blow up, so that's a good skin. They have already had test launches of the upper stage, and they have landed one successfully a couple times. I mean, the first couple crashed, but they've just built another one so fast that it doesn't really matter. NASA wants to go back in like 5 years to the moon, and they want to stay, is their big thing. When SpaceX will be helping them as well, and ferrying fuel and supplies to the surface of the moon. They will build a moon base that will be manned permanently. And there will be like an ISS around the moon as well that will always be manned as well. And they will be using the moon base that they will hopefully construct within 5 years to get to Mars, because you can go there, refuel, get new fuel from the moon, and then do a burn to Mars. They want to go to Mars in I think it's 10 years. So that's all SpaceX stuff going nuts. Blue Origin wants to do commercialized flights, and they obviously had Jeff Bezos fly in his rocket, which is kind of nuts. A civilian flying in a rocket he paid for, so that's really cool. Virgin Galactic had that as well. They have their Stratolaunch, which is a launch system that can drop full-scale rockets. It's a plane that carries rockets up to the stratosphere and then drops them, basically acting as the first stage of a rocket, and then the rocket goes the rest of the way in space. And the Stratolaunch already does work, and they have flown it several times, and it has now broken the world record for largest plane ever built, beating the Spruce Goose, which was held for 60 years or something. But the Spruce Goose only flew for about 100 feet. And it was kind of like it shouldn't have flown, but they flew it anyways.
Guinness recognized?
Oh yeah, definitely. The kind of ugly the Stratolaunch. But it's basically like if you took two airliners, made them 6 times bigger, and then glued them together. So, the picture of it if you want. It's immense. There's it in front of a building, like a massive hangar with people around it. Yeah, it's a big plane. It's huge. And they will be dropping like space shuttles and stuff. That is the idea. So it kind of goes up into the stratosphere and drops them. I think they're shooting for a couple test flights. They've already flown it a couple times, but they're going to slowly ramp it up until it can carry something and then drop it. But if we can get something like that working, we can have easier satellites. Also, SpaceX has its carrying thing, its way of getting to space as the Falcon, and that is launching round the clock constantly to get its Starlink into space, which is how Elon Musk is making money. He will be offering a worldwide satellite internet to anyone who pays $500 for the dish, and then $100 a month, which is pretty competitive. And it will be high-speed internet anywhere in the world, to anywhere in the world. So basically, you could have this on your RV, drive up to a mountain in the middle of nowhere, set this dish up, and get internet. So that's pretty nuts. Anywhere in the world. And then talk to Africa. So that's how he will be making money to fund the missions to the moon and Mars. And they have already launched several, I think, hundred, if not thousands, of these baby satellites that will be doing that. So he is serious about this. He is not joking. They've already launched a bunch of the satellites that he needs to do it. And I believe it's already working. Small scale. You can be in a dev team and get one of their satellite dishes as a test, but it doesn't work quite. It's not all world coverage yet. It's only in certain areas. So the space race is definitely on. There's kind of a big competition to get to the moon. Blue Origin wants to get there as well. And they also want to have the best ferrying to space method, but you have to compete. Everyone's competing for flights to space because SpaceX is already ferrying satellites to space for money. You can basically pay to have a Falcon launched. That's another way they're getting money. NASA is actually paying SpaceX to launch stuff for them because NASA doesn't have enough money to make their own rockets really anymore. Corporatization, it gets stuff done faster than the government can. So that's a lot of stuff happening there in that field. It's fun to keep up. It's hard to keep up with it because stuff happens every day.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to keep up if you're into that field. Really exciting. I can't wait to see another moon landing in my lifetime. I really want to see that. And see high definition video of people walking around on the moon. Taking videos on YouTube. So today we're on the Sea of Tranquility. Weather's great outside. Nice void to space. Can't see any stars like usual. Too bright. That's something people don't believe about the moon. You can't see stars on the moon. It's too bright. Like if it was sunny outside, you can't see the stars in the sun. Because your eyes can't focus on them. Same with cameras. In fact, they killed a camera when they went to the moon for like the second time, I believe. They fried a camera because they opened the lens without the filter on it, and it was so sunny, it just like absolutely killed the sensor in like 2 seconds. And then we didn't get any pictures from that mission, so that was great. They didn't work. I'm very happy about it. So put on your sunglasses when you go to the moon. Because the atmosphere is not doing it for you. Alright, I need to be going. I'm not usually up this late, nearly this late. I'm gonna be dying. I have to go to bed early on Sunday. Oh my god. Alright guys, I'm signing out. I need to get ready. It's nice catching up with you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it every once in a while again. But I'll be pretty busy for the next couple, probably months, to be honest. Parents are moving. I will be moving as well, probably. A bunch of other stuff happening. So weekends are kind of precious, and that we need to like things, move stuff, clean things. I poured cement one weekend. I refloored a room in the another. I have helped with a bunch of other stuff, packing things, reorganizing whole houses, rooms in the house,
6
painting walls.
engines. Yeesh.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, the super heavy launcher for the Starship will have 36 engines. So that'll be fun to manage. The computer will be like, But yeah, 6 engines, 6 massive turboprops. No, those are ducted fans. I don't know what they call them technically. They're
Jet,
big.
jet engines.
Yeah. There's different types of jet engines. Yeah. There's jet engines like yeah, the generic name, but then you get into like ram jets, scram jets, and all that type of engine types. You want to go into supersonic and hypersonic speeds, but that's not what that one does. Okay, I'm signing off.
Hope to see you again at Ep3. Fingers crossed for more occasional visits over stream, and also for the little trip that I'm thinking of holding the weekend after Ep3.
Oh, okay, we'll see. We'll see. When is ever free again? It's the 18th or something. What was it? Let me see. I kind of get Fridays off. I mean, in a way, I work Fridays, but I work in the morning, so it's the 13th. Okay, I could probably come to Friday, tentatively on Ep3, and then we'll see about the rest of the days. Maybe a little bit on Saturday or something, or maybe on Sunday, but can't guarantee every day. But I would like to try to at least get one day in, just for fun. So hope to see you there, definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be there this year due to various factors, but definitely next year.
The only reason
Oh well.
the only reason I sort of had second thoughts about holding back was Black Griffin's coming,
Ooh.
and I can't miss a concert.
There.
There you go. And it's at the new location, so it might be nicer. Seems like a bigger building. We shall see. Okay, signing off. Yoda Soda. Keep her easy. Take her easy. Good night, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
So, switching our news gear over to sports, your London Formula E winners include Jack Dennis and Alex Lynn. And as I said, after multi-day IMSA watching, specifically Watkins Glen, we had multiple events, starting with the Tioga Downs. GS winners Patrick Gallagher, Stephen McAlder, Aston Martin TCS winners Ryan Eversley, Todd Lamb Honda. There's Mustang winning, which got a top 5 overall, top 15 in its class. Then there was a couple Porsche Carrera Cup winners. Couple Porsche Carrera Cup races. Van Berlo and Castro and Meti Majkurzak were winners, although the second race, I believe, is under review. Or possibly not, to determine as to whether or not those remain official. 6 hours of the Glen. Oliver Jarvis, Harry Tignall, Jonathan Belmartio, DPI and overall race winners. Ricky Taylor, Philippe Albuquerque, Alexander Rossi in third, Jimmy Johnson, Kamui Kobayashi, and Simon Pachino in fifth. Richard van der Sunday, Kevin Magnussen for Kalachic Nasty Racing in sixth. Tristan Vautier, Luc Duval, Sebastian Bourdais, it's seventh. Stephen Thomas, Tristan Nunnets, Thomas Schmerl, LMP2 winners. Tony Garcia, Jordan Taylor, Corvettes, GTLM winners. Carl Robinson, Philippe Frangas, Scott Incruz, LMP3 winners. Philip Rescue and Marco Andretti and Jared Andretti for Andretti Osborne in fourth. Bill L. Berlin, Bert Philly, and Adrian Breed, GTD winners. Lawrence Ventura, Lars Kearns, Zachary Rupp Coleman in seventh. Finally, the WeatherTech 240 DPI winners, Philippe Czar and Pippo Durrani for Team Whelan. Callum Chickanes in second, with Richard van der Sunday and Kevin Magnussen. LMP winners, Ben Keating, Mikhail Jensen, Oscar Robinson, and Philippe Fraga. In fourth in the ladder league. Jared Andretti for Andretti Sports as well as Oliver Rescue. GTLM winners, Corvette Racing, Antonio Garcia, Jonathan Taylor, Tony Biller, and Nick Tandy. Finally on the GTD, Jack Hawksworth and Aaron Tillets. Over the past week, Blizzard Activision's been in the news again.
Mm-hmm.
On top of the constant working conditions, they recently had a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Seems a bit unfortunate, but Jody's there for the doctor is ending.
Yeah. I feel kind of bad for her because she basically got screwed by both the pandemic and the general consensus is like the guy in charge is not very good.
Yes, good ideas. Not so good execution. But I do believe she lasted a bit longer than Eccleston did.
From what I've read, basically due to all the delays, like and just how long it took to actually produce the episodes. From what I've read, she's actually going to have the longest tenure over David Tennant. It's because of that whole weird schedule they've got going on.
Almost appropriate, because I can kind of see some facial similarities.
Yeah.
Oof. Black Widow lawsuit.
Yeah, that. Yeah, apparently Disney decided that, okay, our contracts are for you to get, decent chunk of the box office. Oh, what do you know? Theaters are closed. We're also releasing this on Disney Plus. Oh, what do you know? People don't want to go to theaters right now. Yeah, sorry. Like, you're not under contract for Disney Plus money. Yeah. Disney got greedy and is now facing the consequences.
Semi-refreshingly, they're responding and saying sad and distressing.
Yeah.
On the plus side, the Far From Home art book is on sale, 45% off.
Oh, nice.
War for Wakanda expansion for Avengers that they hit next month. Interesting that we're getting Batista as tracks. Sold everything that I made from when I was wrestling. Had issues with their arrests. Lost everything. Role changed the trajectory of my life.
Huh.
A flash this video seems to show Batman racing into action on his White Knight-inspired new Batcycle.
Okay.
Giancarlo Esposito confirms his return for Mandalorian Season 3, and he is able to be filming soon. Teased from Libby that the Stranger Things series for release date will be announced quite soon.
Let's see now. Yeah, and about that whole lawsuit thing. Apparently, Emma Stone is also considering a lawsuit over the whole Cruella thing with that movie's dual release. So yeah, we'll see how things go with Disney. Let's see, anything else? Final Evangelion movies coming to Amazon Prime on August 13th. So hey, took them long enough to release the movie.
Just the excitement was building up. Seems Clifford's being delayed indefinitely over concerns over Delta variant.
That is a fair concern.
Jungle Cruise trying to exceed expectations and earn 32.5 million in the film's domestic box office opening weekend.
Hmm.
Gun, Suicide Squad, Certified Fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% score. Highest rated DC film on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nice. There's been some new Digimon projects announced, including a new TV series and a Adventure Zero Two movie. So, hey, the sequel group gets a movie. Good for them. And well, let's hope the new TV show is better than the current one, cause yeah, I haven't watched it myself. For I've heard, it has none of the charm of the reboot has none of the charm of the original. How should I put it? Apparently, it falls into the whole. How should I put it? You know how eventually Power Rangers basically became all about the Red Ranger? Basically that. Like the other characters don't really get much time or anything. It's all about the main character. But it's really unfortunate because like the original was able to balance that all out.
Take Waititi, currently writing a live-action Flash Gordon movie.
Hmm.
Tom Hanks cast in Wes Anderson's next film.
Val Burton had his guest hosting bit on Jeopardy, which apparently also had an episode where a guy earned basically the biggest negative score. So it's like, ooh, gotta feel sorry for that guy.
Yeah, had a few offsets in yeah, quite a few offsets his run. Other hosts of note in the past month or so include Robin Roberts, first African American woman. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
George Stephanopoulos. Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Svena Guthrie. Megan Bialik. Former champ Buzzy Coven handled the Tournament of Champions. Bill Whitaker. They've been handling pretty well. So note starts on Bob Odenkirk. According to this, he's been making a pretty good recovery.
Yeah.
Horizon Forbidden West delayed to Q1 next year. Getting a first look at Amanda Stelton as Queen Elizabeth II in Crown Season 5.
Hmm.
member heard, apparently was never going to be fired from Lost Kingdom. Ayer shared a deeply personal statement about his cut of Suicide Squad for the studio takeover. Quit? After my kids want me to come home every day after the studio takeover, I'll get it with my heart torn out. Who would I be to them if I quit?
Ooh.
Admirable, I guess?
So apparently there's a Waterworld sequel series in the works. Like, okay, who is asking for this?
Dan Trachtenberg set to direct.
Yeah, with producer John Davis.
I have a feeling it's part of that whole nostalgia profit that's been the surge lately.
Yeah.
And hey, I think it's still a bit of a popular attraction down at Universal Parks, so
Fair enough.
there's always hope that it somehow does better than the actual film, which, from what I heard, was one of the biggest bombs, but at the same time, pretty expensive, and in recent years has gained somewhat of a following.
Fair enough.
J.K. Simmons in talks to return as Commissioner Gordon in Batgirl. Flash filming halted briefly after a camera operator on a motorcycle collided with the stunt double playing Batman and went under the Batcycle. Thankfully, the crew member has been escorted to hospital.
No.
Sweet Tooth renewed for a second season. This is the Yoda Kirk thing. Hospitalized for a heart-related incident. Both Netflix and Disney have been implementing vaccination policies.
Okay.
Stanfield, Tiffany Haddish in talks to star the Disney Plus Haunted Mansion movie from Justin Simeon. I heard People McClain cancelled following Disney Fox merger. PS5, fastest selling console in history, selling more than 10 million units globally since last year's launch.
Nice.
Miles Morales sold over 6.5 million copies since last year's launch. Mark Wahlberg would pick Tom Holland to play him in a biopic about his life. I've seen this several times, but hopefully they made it this time. Arthur reportedly ending after 25 years.
Yep.
Giant Stereo was displayed at Leicester Square. Trachtenberg's Predator movie titled Skull, follows Predator's first journey to Earth, filming nearly complete. Harper Penn, Sean Penn's son, and Brian Darcy James, casted right away from director Destry Spielberg, Steven's daughter, and writer Owen King, Steven's son. Vincent Duke as the Batman in Unburied, Spotify podcast from David Goyer.
Hmm.
Industrial Magic hired YouTube Shamuk after his viral video improving the visual effects in Mandalorian, de-aging Luke Skywalker. So there's another fan living the dream.
Yep.
Previously, it was Oliver Steeples when he was working for the R2 Club. He ended up being one of the guys that created the R2 in the new movies.
Hmm.
Got an unveiling for the Lego MCU Disney Plus collectible minifigure series releasing this October.
Nice.
New Exorcist trilogy, acquired by Universal and Peacock. One of the stars, Ellen Burstyn, was one of the original cast members for the original trilogy. Live action Pokemon series in the works at Netflix.
Nice.
I wonder if it's the same crew behind Detective Pikachu.
Mhm.
first trailer for the Lighthouse movie, releasing on the 20th.
Yep.
Scripted series USA vs. Vince McMahon in the works from WWE and Blumhouse. Quantum Mania begins filming. Kirkman's stating massive efforts going to make sure that the live-action Invincible film experience is unique compared to the animated series. Got a first trailer for the Chucky series coming October 12th.
Nice.
Also got one for the Dexter revival coming November 7th. New Blood. Sam Hargrave rumored to be directing at least one episode of Book of Boba Fett. New Shining Adventures collection set with Deputy Sprout appears.
Hmm.
As I mentioned towards the beginning of the call, one of East Fist's live reactions is finally back online.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, our goodbyes this week include Mike Mitchell, Gladiator Bravehearts, Claudius Ray Murphy, Phantom, Alfie Scoop, Tales of the Wizard of Oz, and Rankin of S. Jackie Mason, Emmy winner 8892. David Von Enkin, Vampire Diaries. Rick Aiello, Twin Peaks Sopranos. Dusty Hill, ZZ Top. Second Out Grant, Breaking Bad. Pete George, Olympic champion weightlifter, 52. pick it. EV destruction, repels steel skin. And NJ shell of the PC lines.
currently trying out that mod for Final Fantasy Tactics, where it's like Pokemon.
Hmm.
It's okay, but so far, outside of the first mission, I haven't found any monster encounters. So it's like, okay, it'd be great to, recruit. So, yeah, we should probably wrap up for tonight or this week, whatever.
So the last upgrade, so the last update to the resource pack was mostly just a few minor texture changes and upgrades to the latest updates. Which isn't that bad. Which is not necessarily bad, but
Yeah.
could have been better. Anyway. So yeah, our Death with Six Plates continue next week.
Mm-hmm.
Until which, stay safe, stay well, get fixed, and hopefully we will see you next week. Take care.